Steve Bowers welcoming you to Dialogue here at E+ TV6 and a conversation with Bo Deaton, who spent his professional career in utility service here in Jackson, Tennessee. Good to have you with us.
Thank you.
Appreciate you doing this.
Good to be here.
Now, you were born, not to ask him to give away his age, but you were born when?
I was born June 13, 1934.
1934. All right, so it gives us a perspective here.
Yeah, right.
So, before we go, got a way to go before we get into utility. Now, you were born in Madison County.
Yes.
Out where?
Out east
Okay.
on Cotton Grove Road and corner of Cotton Grove Road and Cobb Lane.
All right.
Near the lake out there.
Lake Graham there?
Lake Graham.
But the lake wasn't there then?
No, it was a creek.
Okay. But you said you did fish in the creek.
I did fish in the creek a lot of times.
Okay. And that took what? You said you cut your own pole?
I cut my fishing pole on the way to the creek and had my line and hook and worms. And that's about all I had. It was barefooted most of the time.
Okay. But that worked, right?
That worked.
Yeah, okay. Now, your family was in the dairy business.
Yes, my dad was a farmer and a dairyman.
Okay.
We milked about 25, 30 head of cows twice a day.
Okay.
By hand.
Okay. No machine.
No machines.
Okay.
Human machines.
Yeah. One thing I remember talking to people that are in the dairy business is that, it's 24/7, 365.
That's right.
Cows had to be milked twice a day, doesn't matter what was going on.
That's right.
Okay.
Twice in the morning, early in the morning, about 1 o'clock each day.
Okay. And that whole way of life has gone away. There's not a dairy operation that I know of in this county now.
Well, the only one, and I don't know of any now,
Yeah.
sure don't.
Yeah.
But my dad sold his milk to Pegues and Holloway's Dairy, which was on the Mifflin Road.
Okay.
Right past the East Chester Street on the left up there.
Okay.
And it later became Holloway's Dairy.
Okay.
And the Holloway was my dad's sister's husband.
So it's an agriculture business. Now,
Yes.
we were talking about cotton gins. I just recently went out to Nutbush. There's still a cotton gin working out there, but there are not many of those anymore.
Right. No, the only one I know of in Jackson is at Bemis.
Yeah. But you said there was one in Hicksville where the Jackson Clinic is.
Yes,
now.
it was called the Hicksville Gin.
Hicksville Gin. Okay. So it's just a reminder that agriculture was a way of life. Well, how did you wind up in the utility business?
Well, I was working in I don't know, when I was about 12 and a half years old, I went to work for Johnny's Popcorn Stand.
Okay, down here at Lancaster Park.
Which was at Lancaster Park.
Okay.
And I was working in there, and a friend of mine that was working with the electric department at that time, which was housed in the old water building now, he came to me and said, "Bo, there's a job opening in the warehouse. You ought to go apply for it." Okay. So I went and applied for it on Monday. And they called me that afternoon and told me to come to work the next day.
Wow.
So I went to work on Tuesday.
Okay, and that was what year then? That was
1952.
Okay.
I graduated from high school that Monday night and went to work the next day.
Is that right? Okay.
10 cents an hour.
Is that right?
10 cents
10
an hour.
cents an hour.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
And
1952.
I worked there until I went to work with JED, and I got up to 40 cents an hour.
Okay. Now, we were talking about so the electric company's offices were where the well and all that stuff is there on Royal.
Well, that was the warehouse,
Okay.
and the crews worked out of there.
Out of there. Okay.
The electric department was where they paid the bills with its old city hall.
Okay.
And the meter department at that time was upstairs at the city hall.
At City Hall. Okay.
And the transformer shop and all the other items were down on South Royal.
South Royal Street. Okay.
Warehouse and.
Yeah, okay. Now, Johnny's Popcorn Stand was where? Now, I know it was Lancaster Park.
It's right where that double driveway in goes into where the double gate security gates are off of Royal.
Okay.
Johnny's Popcorn Stand sitting right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's such a landmark.
It
was
is.
such a landmark
Yeah.
for people. I mean.
Yeah, there's a picture in the Railroad Museum.
Yeah.
And I'm in that picture.
Okay. Well,
Mr. Johnny Hudson's in there and a couple of other guys.
Yeah. Well, it's just such a. I know when they still had the museum down at the depot, they said one of the things that people came in that had lived in Jackson, that's what they would talk about, Johnny's Popcorn Stand.
Johnny's Popcorn Stand.
In the Lancaster Park.
I worked there 6.5 years.
Okay. So you did 6.5, get out of school, and then go to work with the electric department.
Right.
Okay. So you started out, you said 1952, making 10 cents an hour, doing what?
Well, I started out at Johnny's Popcorn Stand making 10 cents an hour.
Okay, and then you went
But when I went to the warehouse, which was there at Lancaster Park,
Right.
I was making $150 a month.
Okay. That's a big jump.
That's a big jump. from 40 cents an hour to 87 and a half cents an hour.
Okay, all right. So what did you do and did it how long there with the electric department?
How long did it what?
Yeah, when you first started with the electric department, what were you doing?
I was working in a warehouse.
Okay.
Putting up materials and delivering materials. And
Who headed up the company in 1952?
Hamp Meeks.
Okay. And who else was involved? You said Joe Exum came in about the same
Joe
time?
Exum was there at the time, and J.T. Pugh, who was the operating superintendent, I think, and Charlie Bryan was the chief engineer.
Okay. So Hamp Meeks was the one running it.
He ran the show.
Okay. Now we're on this is way before we get to JUD, which comes in 59. So this Jackson Electric Department.
Right, Jackson Electric Department.
Okay. Had no relationship with anything else, standalone electric department on with the city.
Of course, the city operated the water department at that time, and the gas department was owned by West Tennessee Gas Company.
So the gas company was privately owned. City ran water, and the city had electricity.
Right.
Okay.
The little family owned the West Tennessee Gas Company.
Okay. What I understand in talking to Mr. Exum in the past, one of the big projects in the early 50s and was starting to transition downtown to get underground utilities downtown.
Right. Joe was the engineer that designed that and had installed it, started installing that in 52 or 53.
Okay. And he was talking about the air conditioning was coming and increased demand for electricity went out the window. I mean, went through the roof.
Transformer vaults of downtown in the sidewalk there.
Okay.
If you ever walk across the top of them.
different day. So what else did you do then? How did you get out of the warehouse? What else did you start doing?
Well, I worked in a warehouse. In 1952, we were down at the Wales, and that year they built the warehouse on East College Street.
Okay.
And I helped move all of our materials and wires and everything up here to the location on College Street in 52. And then in 1953, they opened the old 119 East College office and engineering and dispatch area.
Okay.
And then I moved from working in a warehouse to stores clerk. And then sometime in 56, I think it was, Mr. Meeks came to Ollie Crenshaw and myself and said, look, if y'all go to school for 2 years, we'll give you a promotion. He went from stores clerk to plant accountant, and I went from the warehouse into stores clerk. Okay. So we went to school. I ended up finishing then in 63 at Union.
So you went to Union, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it took me about 6, 7 years.
Okay.
But I worked part-time and went to school part-time.
But he wanted y'all to have a college degree.
I worked full-time, went to school part-time.
Okay. So he wanted you to have a college degree? He wanted you to have a college degree?
On college, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you were at 119 College Street. What happened then to where the storage had been down on Royal? Did it stay there, or did they move everything?
No, all the electric moved there, but I think the water department.
The water department.
See, the water department was operated by the city,
yeah.
So they moved their stuff to the area down there, and they added that back part.
Okay. But one of the things that one time the electric department was down there where the Brooks Steakhouse was and all that stuff down there on.
Well, that was all West Tennessee Power and Light.
Power and Light. Okay.
Yeah.
And so that was before the city got in.
Yeah, that's before my time.
got in it.
I saw some records of it in plant accounting when I went to plant accounting.
Right.
I went from stores clerk to the plant accountant, and seemed like it was a progression. When in 1953, when they opened the building up there, Lynn Conger was the office manager, and soon after that, something happened. I'm not sure what, but he left, and then they moved the plant accountant, who was Dick Mason, up to the office manager, and that's when Ollie Crenshaw moved to the plant accountant, and I went to the stores clerk. Okay. And then Dick went to work for TVA in 2 or 3 years as a field accountant, and that moved Ollie up. And then I moved into Ollie Crenshaw's position, and then moved into office manager when Ollie went to work for TVA.
All right. Bo Deaton is with us. We're getting utility history here on this dialogue at E+TV6.
Hey, let's check out this park. Wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
What this place needs is better graduation rates.
What this place needs is less childhood obesity.
What this place needs is free help with taxes.
What this place needs is healthy breakfast.
What this place needs is fitness programs for kids.
What this place needs is early readers.
What this place needs is mentors for teens.
What this place needs is people to join us. What this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org.
Welcome back to Dialogue at E+ TV6. We're talking with Bo Deaton, who spent his career working in utility service here in Jackson, Tennessee. He started out with the Jackson Electric Department. In 1952, we're on the way to 1959 when JUD is formed, the Jackson Utility Division. What brought that about, Bo?
Well, the city of Jackson bought the West Tennessee Gas Company, and the mayor and the commissioners then decided to make a utility out of it and put all the services together.
Yeah, okay.
Electric, gas, water, and wastewater all became JUD.
All right. It was Jackson Utility Division. It's one company, but very distinct divisions out there because gas and electric guys had been competing.
Right.
Still do in some ways, but in those days it had been pretty intense.
Yeah. Between the gas and electric, there's a lot of competition.
I remember hearing stories about the gas guys. If somebody came in town, put in a cafe or something, they didn't have gas, they wouldn't eat there.
Yeah.
because they were fighting. And of course, it was a separate company too.
Yeah. Well, Paul Falk was manager of the gas department at the time.
All right.
And he ran it like it's going to be gas from then on, nothing else.
Yeah. Well, it's and they were competed by selling gas appliances and everything else. I mean, it was like I said, it was neither or world in their view.
They had a first floor down there at West Tennessee Gas Company on Baltimore Street, and they had all the gas appliances in there. Yeah. And they actually had people that sold them.
Yeah. So like I said, you can't do it all with gas, and they were there to prove it. Then Bruce Bynum became the manager or director or whatever of the Jackson Utility Division.
I think his title then was general manager of JUD.
Okay. So this was an all new thing.
Yes.
Putting these companies together.
Right.
What are your memories of that?
Well, of course, one of the big things was combining all the services, electric, gas, and water, and getting it all on one bill. And that was a struggle. And at the time, we were using CSA as the billing company that did our billing for us, and we had to transmit everything to them.
Okay.
So that was, as far as the office was concerned, that was the biggest thing that we had to do. Okay. And then for a while, we had a collection station on Baltimore, where the West Tennessee Gas Department was, and on College Street. And eventually, they closed the gas company on the building that the gas company had on Baltimore. And moved everything to 119 East College.
Okay.
Yeah. And everybody came up there.
Okay. And so Bruce had to put all this together and try to bring these cultures together, I guess you could.
Right, that was his job.
Not an easy one, I wouldn't think.
It wasn't too easy.
Yeah, because, customer service people were used to, you had gas people and you had electric people, water people, I mean, all different things. So to pull it all together was...
And then eventually we got to the point where one serviceman did all three of them. Mm-hmm.
It took a little while.
Yeah, it took a while, a few years.
We can gloss over it now, but it was not an easy transition, but did all that. Then Joe Exum becomes part of the company, or he'd been here since '52.
Well, Joe actually started before I did, just
did he?
a little bit before I did. Okay. But when Mr. Bynum retired, Joe Exum took his place. Okay. Joe was manager of the electric system at that time.
Okay. And so you had worked with him.
I worked with Joe for a long time.
Long time, okay.
Of course, I knew him from '52 and worked with him till '90 when he retired.
I wanted to look back on it because the people that run this company come into this company, stay with this company.
Yeah.
And that's a tradition that continues today. Did you have any idea in 1952 that Joe Exum would be running the thing one of these days?
No, I didn't.
If they'd have told you, would you felt okay about it? Or you said, maybe I'll need to look for somebody else.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd be where I was either.
Okay. You stayed with the company how long?
42 years.
Okay.
Like a few months been 42 years.
Okay. So you retired when?
December 31st, 93.
Of 93, okay.
So I've been retired, soon be 30 years.
Okay, all right. Was Joe still here, or when did John Williams come in?
John took Joe's place in 1990 when Joe retired.
All right, so you worked with
Yeah. Well, I worked with
John Williams
Mr. Meeks, Mr. Bynum, Joe Exum, and John, all four.
Okay, yeah. Bo, my impression is that this company has had good leadership all through its history.
We've had good leadership. Had very, very good leadership.
I mean, that it, I think we forget how much life changed so much, just like coming out of World War II and electricity and everything, and suddenly, we have air conditioners and all kinds of electric appliances and gas stuff going on. I mean, we had money, for the first time in a while, and it changed things.
It changed. We had to have people with idea about where we were going, and made plans to get there, and we did that.
Okay. You have any best memories of your time with let's see, Jackson Electric Company, then the Jackson Utility Division, and then you got out before it became JEA?
I'm not sure when it became JEA. I think it's maybe right before I retired. I'm not sure. John took over, and I think I was there. He took over in 90, and I retired in 93. So it seemed to me like he created JEA before I retired.
Okay.
I think.
Well, you got any best memories of it? Of course, when I ask people, it's always the people they talk about.
Well, yes, of course. I enjoyed working with everybody, and all through the years, I met a lot of good folks, and I just enjoyed being there.
Yeah.
I never hated going to work one day.
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
I mean, you go to work coming out of high school. Did you have any idea that was going to be your career?
No, I didn't know where I was going. I didn't have any idea about even ever going to college. Okay. But the opportunity presented itself, and I had to accept.
Okay. Well, I guess, getting away from the dairy business and from farming could be a plus.
Oh,
right?
Boy, yeah.
10 cents an hour at Johnny's popcorn stand may have seemed like easy money.
Yeah, I sacked a lot of popcorn and bagged a lot of peanuts. Okay. And dipped a lot of ice cream cones.
Okay. For 10 cents an hour, and it was good pay and good time.
Yeah, it was at that time.
All right.
Well, when I first started, I only worked on Sundays. That's when all the crowd was there.
Okay. So you were still working the farm during the week?
Well, yes, I still, we moved from the farm. When
did you? Okay.
When I was 16.
Okay.
We moved to town.
Okay.
And moved into a house on Lambeth that George Smith owned. And we lived there for a while, and then we moved to Westover. And then I was at Westover when I started to work for JUD.
Okay.
JED.
Yeah.
And there's two guys that worked for them at the time but was living out there. And he was the plant accountant, and he was able to drive a truck home. Okay. And so he picked me up at my house in at Westover, and that's how I got to work for several months.
Okay.
And then we moved to town on Vance, and then we moved to Royal Street, and then Preston and Martin. So we moved a lot, as you can expect.
Wow, okay.
My dad started a new profession. He started work he was a laborer when they built Tigard Junior High School.
Okay.
So that was his first job when he got out, when he quit farming.
Got off the farm and came in town. Okay, wow.
He worked hard.
Imagine, I think most everybody did in those days, right?
Everybody had to work hard.
Most everybody did. Bo Deaton is with us. We're going to shift gears in this conversation, but stay right where you are. We'll continue this in just a moment. Dialogue at E+ TV 6.
Leave something to remember so they won't forget I was here. I was here.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. For 100 years, the Boys and Girls Clubs have opened this door for America's youth, Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
Welcome back to Dialogue at E+ TV6 as we continue a conversation with Bo Deaton, who spent his professional career working utility service here in Jackson, starting in 1952 with the Jackson Electric Department that became the Jackson Utility Division, a combination of water, natural gas, and electricity, and then eventually, of course, it becomes JEA. And Bo retired in 1993. We've talked a lot about the utility business, a lot of names that people will remember or may not be familiar with that we want to introduce you to. One other aspect of your life I wanted to talk about, you've always been extremely physically active. Athlete in school or?
Well, I played football.
All right. At
Northside.
Okay.
I played for Thurman Reynolds.
All right. And you graduated from Northside in?
1952.
Okay.
May the 7th, 1952.
Okay. Well, you've stayed physically active.
Yes, yes. I've tried to.
Okay. Why?
Well, just because I enjoyed it. I've always played softball and refereed basketball for 44 years and football for 17. And when the kids came along, we moved out in the country where we are now, and I decided to have to give something up, so I gave up football and continued basketball for 44 years. And I played softball, and I play in all the senior games now, and I've been to the state and national and local games several years.
Right. And you've taken up pickleball now.
Yes, playing pickleball now and tennis and cornhole, just anything I can do to stay busy.
Okay. Well, it's because a lot of people make other decisions in their life, get inactive and get overweight and all that other stuff.
Right.
And when Bo says he plays softball, I mean, they play softball. Who was it? I forget who. When I turned 55, one of you guys called me and said, won't you come here and think about playing softball with us? So I thought it was just going to be some kind of friendly pickup game. I got out there in their uniforms and everything else.
Right.
And John D. Graham had a heart attack out there at 72, which is where I am now. And I'm thinking, these guys are serious about that. Man, I don't belong in this league. Billy Scribner wanted to call me.
Billy Scribner.
Yeah, why don't you come here and consider playing with us? I got out there and said, man, this is a serious business here. You know, I wasn't anywhere near equipped for that.
Yeah, I started the senior softball in 1992, I believe it was. We had gone to the state and played up there. Guy Hopper and Joe Sykes and Jerry Pate and I can't remember who else, Kenneth Reeves, there's several of us. Yeah. And the next year we got together and had two teams in the church league, and the seniors were playing the young boys in the church league. And then about 2 years after that we had 4 teams, and now we've got 8, so 8 or 9 now. So it's really grown, and we've had a lot of fun.
Okay. Now tell me about officiating, because especially basketball.
Okay.
I mean, football's tough enough anyway. Basketball, I mean, I remember, you had gymnasiums like at Middleton and Adams, all these places where everybody's just right there on you.
Right.
Scottsdale, all that stuff. I mean, the fans are right there,
hollering at you and carrying on. Yeah.
Well, I realized when I moved down to the Middleton area one time that there were some guys down there, I won't call any names, but that was their whole purpose in life, was to agitate the officials.
That's right. Some of them showed up just for that.
Yeah, right.
But you knew who they were.
So as long as you know who's going to be on you, you got that peg from the very beginning.
Well, you have to have thick skin and let that go by.
Okay, yeah, because it talked about later, said, man, you're hard on it. It's just all fun. It's just fun,
Yeah.
Of course, I mean, sometimes it was serious, depending on how the game was going.
Yeah. Well, I really enjoyed officiating.
Is that right? Okay, why?
Well, just like yesterday, I went into Food Giant out south, and as I passed by this guy, he said, "Hey, Mr. Ralph," and it was a young guy that had played basketball at West. Of course, I didn't have any idea who he was.
Right. Okay.
So I stopped, turned around, shook his hand.
Okay.
And he said, "You always did a good job."
Okay. Well,
but you see people now whose kids or have kids that are playing basketball, and they remember you.
Okay.
And it's meant a lot to me. I made a lot of friendships. Probably made a few enemies, but that's okay.
Well, if you're doing your job right.
Right. I tried to.
Yeah. Well,
I tried to do the best I could.
Yeah, because And coaches are different personalities too.
Yeah, coaches are different.
I mean, some of them very low key and calm, and some of them are exactly the opposite.
And some of them right down your neck all the time.
But like I say, you know when you go in, right?
Yeah, we know that, and of course we had a solution to that if we needed to use it with a technical foul.
Okay.
And used to, if a coach got a technical foul, he had to sit down and seat all night. The rest of the night, he couldn't get up for anything except timeout.
Okay.
So, and that's changed now, I think. But some of them give you heck, and others appreciate what you did. And I think they all do it.
Okay. But you enjoyed, obviously did it 40-something years.
Oh, yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
I enjoyed the fellowship with the people I worked with and coaches and people I met. I made lifetime friendships.
Okay. This pickleball business. Mm-hmm. City Council just this week, they're going to add some more pickleball courts at Conger Park. It's a big thing here.
Yes, it's big.
And so, but now you're playing you're playing tournaments and stuff now.
Well, I have played in the tournament. I played, went to the state and played in the state in Chattanooga in July. And of course, when you get my age, you don't have many people in your age bracket. But I was lucky enough to win the 90 plus.
Is that right? Okay.
I got the gold in the 90 plus at Chattanooga.
Okay.
And then I've been playing I played in the senior games in Memphis this past about 3 weeks ago. The senior games have all these activities, you know.
Right.
So I went over there and participated in the senior games over there, and was lucky enough to win 16 golds, 2 silvers, and a bronze.
That's pretty good.
And I've been very fortunate.
So it's meant a lot to you.
Yes,
in your life.
I've had some no real health problems, but I've had some injuries that slowed me down a time or two. But I've overcome those and been able to participate.
Hamstring or some other things, right?
Huh?
You had hamstring or some other leg.
I pulled my hamstring on the left leg, and I was in Florida playing softball on the travel team down there and tore my Achilles in 2. Okay. And they put me in a boot, and I stayed down there the rest of the weekend, came home on Monday, and on Wednesday I had it fixed. And then about 1.5 years after that, a tree hit me in the back of the leg, and on the left leg, and broke my fibula and tibia and tore my ACL. Okay. So my left leg's been through it, but I'm still able to get up and
go and play and compete and win.
Yeah, well, I win a few, lose some too, but that's okay.
Because I'm sure there's some people and some of your friends that say, Bo, the cure to that is to quit. Right?
Yeah, they think I'm too old.
But obviously you're not.
But I'm not. I don't intend to get too old.
Okay. Well, you talk about his son's got some health issues. You live long enough, you go through challenges.
Yeah, you do. You really do. And this is a big challenge.
Yeah, but you've kept going in this life.
Yes, I've kept going and continue. I want to continue to go too. Yeah. That's the reason I stay active. Yeah. I think if you sit down, you go down.
Yeah, I think
that's my philosophy.
Yeah. Well, people ask me all the time about retiring. I'm in my mid-70s now. They say, retiring. I said, well, I don't know what else I'd do, right?
Well, you need to find something to do if you're going to retire.
Yeah, you got to.
You'll find something to do.
I'll just try to keep talking.
Yeah, knowing you'll find something to do.
Okay. Bo, it's a real pleasure to spend this time with you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your life and what you mean a lot to a lot of people. I
appreciate that.
You sure do. And
a lot of people mean a lot to me too.
Yeah. Well, it's a testament to what this life can be.
It is.
And appreciate you so very much. Appreciate this time.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Steve, I appreciate you.
Yeah. Appreciate the opportunity to talk with Bo Deaton, and we appreciate you being with us. Be sure to stay with us here at E+ TV 6 because this is the place where the dialogue continues.
The projections would be tornado next Thursday.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency.